to put on your mystery hat because we've got a brand new sighting of a UFO, the kind that we're starting to see a lot more of these days. In fact, this may just be the Honda Civic of interplanetary travel. Flying Tic Tacs. Tonight we have another Tic Tac show, courtesy of investigative journalist Jeremy Corbell and the co-host of his podcast, George Knapp. They got their hands on some video from a U.S. warship off the coast of Southern California. What you're about to see happened back in Feb of 2023. A witness describes what he saw.
But when we start talking about all of the objects, all four objects, and what we witnessed was all four of them, all in synchronous, jetting off into the abyss. All four, all timed together, and all left. And we were like, holy and they were all, maybe the second they left, maybe 3-4 seconds pass, I run to my station and I look at my radar and they're all gone. They're all off radar. And I was like, that's it. They all zoomed off. But it's clear that they're in communication with one another and synchronized, like 3, 2, 1 countdown, let's all go.
This Tic Tac had no typical propulsion, no exhaust, no wings, no tail, no rotors, the kinds of things that we all use to get around. It reminded me actually of the first reported Tic Tac sighting back in 2004. That one was also off the coast of Southern California, and it was caught on video by U.S. Navy pilots. So what does it all mean? Ben Hansen always has the answers. He is the host of UFO Witness on Discovery Plus, kind enough to be with us tonight.
Warhead hits it, fires another beam of light, and then flies out the way it came in.
What's your theory behind what's going on here with these sightings?
Documents released via the Freedom of Information Act confirm that these types of incidents have occurred going back to 1948. The documents describe saucer-shaped objects whose capabilities are vastly beyond anything that we have, the Russians have. I think the logical explanation is we're dealing with visitors from somewhere else. Regardless, there are a number of cases now. I've interviewed over 120 former or retired Air Force personnel.
And there is no question about the fact that UFOs shut down all 10 missiles at Oscar Flight on March 24th.
During this period, for a short time, signal lights on both the control panels suddenly turned on. The lights showing that missiles were preparing for launching, as could normally only happen if an order was transmitted from Moscow.
There's a song that the slaves used to sing. Swing low, sweet chariot, take me home. The slaves were singing songs about UFOs that they were seeing in the sky. So when I discovered that, I'm like, wait a second. How is it possible that the same technology that we see today that they call a UAP, that our ancestors saw when they was in the cotton field, how did they know that whatever they saw could take them somewhere? Imagine what they seen land in the time when there was no camera phones, there was no nothing. Once I discovered that, I say, okay, this world that we live in could possibly be a stage. The only way to prepare for the future is to study history. There's a very large gap in our fossil record for being a human being. Something happened. There's a very large gap in the fossil record and the historical record. Once I found out that song, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, was the slaves praying and hoping that a UFO would come down and would take them away from here, that opened up my eyes to what's, okay, I gotta look at the world a lot different.
Yeah. Everything back then. So what were those individual men in those vehicles in these paintings? Those were the angels in the chariots, what the prophet Elisha called, the salvation of Israel, the chariots of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. Because they understood about the chariots. That's why in slavery, Jake sung the song, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, coming forth to carry me home. I looked over the river Jordan, and what did I see? But a band of angels come carry me. So pretty much what's that? They understood that those so-called UFOs were the angels. And that's the way we're going to be saved, because that's the way that the Israelites were saved out of Egypt, with Yahweh's chariot following them, guiding them, protecting them. It was so heavy that they were in the wilderness for 40 years. And it said their shoes didn't even wax old. The clothes didn't wax old. They looked, their clothing looked like it did when they came out of Egypt. Pristine.
Brand spanking new.
Yeah.
You know, and they was in the wilderness, so you get stains and tears and rips and just
funk.
Yeah, the funk set in. The Lord, he kept Jake, all right, and that's going to happen in this time too. The Lord is going to keep Jake, so we don't have to worry about what we're going to be wearing, what we're going to eat. The Lord can just drop food down from heaven.